the little sleep she'd had in the last few days, Shashi noticed that his shoes, flattened out at the back, looked out of place with his clothes. But she didn't say anything. She wanted him to leave. She had no time alone in the past week. She wanted to make herself tea and sit at the kitchen counter and sip it slowly. She wanted to see it all again and again, till the memory became cold, till it cracked and fell on the floor. Her body felt heavy. She smelled of days-old sweat. Even this morning alone had been hard to earn. On learning that Surju and Laura were going back to work that day, Robbie's cousin, Tutu, had called and offered to keep her company. She said she would bring over food. There was no need, Shashi had told her. They would all be meeting soon for the ritual Shraddh meal on the 13th day. After she closed the door behind Surju, with the gaze a mother reserves for her firstborn, she wound her watch back. At home in Delhi, it was time to boil the rice for dinner. She didn't need to keep time here, but she wore the watch like an ornament every morning after her bath. A married woman's wrists should never be bare, her mother used to tell her. The small gold buckle of the watch would clink against her wedding bangle when she combed her hair. Until last week, she had never removed that wedding bangle, iron-wrapped in gold. The only time she had removed it was to get it resized when it had begun to dig into her flesh. The goldsmith had to cut it off her. That was so many years ago. The children were still at home then. Shashi sat on the sofa in Surju and Laura's living room. Grey, with no cushions. It had a chevron throw with a Made in India tag that made Robbie laugh. A stackable centre table allowed everyone to have their own islands when they watched TV. The screen took up half the wall, but didn't play any Hindi or Bengali TV serials, or even any of the old BBC sitcoms she liked. It wasn't ideal having to perform her husband's funeral here in New Jersey, away from her friends and family in India. But this place had everything, even the special kind of ghee needed for the funeral rites. Surju, who was essential for the rites, was here. Being here also meant she didn't have to talk to the hordes of relatives and acquaintances she didn't want to see, the ones who'd show up and expect to be fed and taken care of through the day. Everyone insisted on being the last to eat, as if starving themselves proved their closeness to the deceased. It had surprised her how many people had come. The Saturday after the cremation, the apartment was filled with 54 people. She counted. In America, even gods wait their turn for the weekend. What luck did an ordinary man have, even if he had been a popular one? Robbie Malik had not just been top of his class at Delhi School of Architecture. All these years later, he had also been the one with the most hair, a boyish mop of silver that fell in spikes across his forehead. The National Award had prompted him to be more sociable with his friends, in a charitable way. He was always the first to break into song at the reunion parties of the class of 1974. He had kept up correspondence with his classmates, many of whom were scattered stateside. Those who had known him and lived on the East Coast had turned up. Cousins twice and thrice removed had arrived. Laura's family had come. Surju's colleagues too. But the person Robbie loved the most in the world wasn't there. The light of his eyes. Nayantara, he called her. Their daughter, Tara. They hadn't been able to reach her in time. Tutu, all bobbed hair and metallic sneakers, had managed to round up a Bengali priest. "Don't wear trousers for the rituals," she had told him on the phone. "We want..."